My name is Ellen, and I'm the owner of Stressless Studio, and also I recovered from long COVID. So I'm not a doctor, and this isn't medical advice. It's just a video of my own experience of how I dealt with long COVID and how I wish I had dealt with it had I known what I do now. So, first, when I was diagnosed, I wish I had known that people did recover, that people could recover. I didn't know that. I thought it was a life sentence. I thought I'd be stuck in bed forever, missing out on life and being in pain. I wish I knew that I would come out of it eventually. That really would have helped my mindset. The rest of my advice is just on the condition that you've had everything checked, you've been seen by medical doctors, and all the tests have come back negative, your heart test, your blood tests, and you know that they can't find anything wrong, but that you know that something is very wrong. So, the 7 things that I learned the hard way in my recovery journey are, first of all, that the symptoms are real, but they're not necessarily dangerous. The symptoms are very scary, and I'm telling you that they're telling us that there's something dysregulated, seriously dysregulated in our autonomic nervous system. But as far as I can tell from the 300 or so crashes and really severe symptoms that I had, that there isn't any permanent damage anywhere. And I was so worried that I was going to be beyond help or permanently damaged, and that doesn't seem to be the case, and it's just a good thing to know so that you can take that fear out of your mind. I wish I hadn't accepted the symptoms were just anxiety. And I went to a lot of doctors that wanted to tell me that that is what was going on. And I was thinking, well, I did just get diagnosed with a post-viral syndrome that has no cure or treatment. So, of course, I'm going to be a little bit anxiety. On top of that, my heart is going berserk. My head hurts. I can't remember where my toothbrush is. I'm hot and cold. And there's just so many things going on, I'm short of breath. So, of course, I'm going to feel anxious. But just not accepting that. I wish I hadn't accepted that, it was anxiety. I knew something else was going on. And number 3 is keeping your expectations. I wish I had kept my expectation a little lower when I saw doctors and specialists, because I would go and I'd be so excited that I was going to find an answer to my problems, that I'd get a treatment to go on, and that somebody would say, oh yes, we know it's exactly what's happening here. And I didn't. And when I didn't, it would just send me down, a very disheartening path. And it made me think further that there's no way out, that I wouldn't get better. But actually, now that I think about it, when I saw the specialist and they did tests and the tests came out normal, that is actually a reason to celebrate that you don't have anything that is, harmful or beyond what's already happening in the body, that there isn't, real damage in my heart or lungs or brain, so I actually think that, if I had kept my expectations just a little lower, the specialists are doing the best that they can with giving us tests and trying to find answers. It's just that I wanted that person to be like Oz and just tell me what was happening. Anyway, the 4th thing I wish I'd known is to right away start calming my nervous system. That would have been the best hack to start. That breath work and vagal toning could do so much to help regulate my nervous system, to make my body feel safer, to get me out of the constant fight or flight state that I was in and into rest and digest, where I could just, think more clearly, be in a little less pain. The breath work helped also to, fix my diaphragm so that it was working properly and bring in more oxygen as well. And the vagal toning helps with vagus nerve goes all the way. It's that wandering nerve through our body, the superhighway from the gut to the brain. And I didn't know that it could really help with inflammation because it controls inflammation and also digestion. That's really important for digestion. So keeping that vagal tone, doing the vagal tone exercises were huge in making me feel better as well. Oh, here comes my dog. Hello, Frosty. And anyway, another thing, number 5, is learning to manage fear. I wish I knew how to manage it at the time. I mean, I didn't know that fear drives symptoms and flare-ups. You know, I wish I had known that I didn't have to believe all my thoughts of what my brain was telling me. I didn't have to believe, the things that were saying, oh, you're never going to recover. You're never going to get your life back. That people are never going to, that they're, I thought people were going to forget me and, my friends would move on and all those things that I believed were really true. And now I didn't know that you could kind of look at those and say, is that really true? Question those, and look at them and see what kind of perception that I'm listening to them, and also see that there's an opportunity that we can actually let those thoughts go and create new ones. So bringing new thoughts like, what if I do recover? What if I can recover? What if my friends are going to be there to support me? I'm doing things to help calm my nervous system. I'm doing my best right now. So even though this might be the greatest challenge of my life, it's possible that I can and will get better. In time, especially. So, and also, number 6 is that I recognized that I had more agency and control over my recovery than I thought. When I was going through this, I thought I was powerless, that I was a victim, that there was nothing I could do to help myself. I didn't realize that while I was waiting for appointments and seeing specialists, that I could be doing things. First of all, I had the choice every day to accept where I was. And I was very sick. Instead of fighting it or resisting it or wanting it to be another way, being angry and sad and mad that I wasn't well. And, that only exacerbated the symptoms and made me sadder and more hopeless. So didn't realize that, I had the choice, that I could be regulating my body, doing things that could help heal it, like rest and pacing. I didn't know that all that is what, when you're in the sleep, when you're sleeping and resting and pacing, that's when the body recovers. Instead, I felt a little guilty sometimes. I felt lazy or, just like that I wasn't doing anything. But it turns out that that's the best thing that I could do, because I'm no good to someone when I'm sick. I can't show up for people when I'm sick. But if I take care of myself and do the things and prioritize my health and prioritize my recovery, then I would be able to show up in time and get back to, being there for people like I would. And, I guess that was just a really big learning that I had. I also didn't realize how much control I had over my own stressors and, my ability to calm my nervous system. I wasn't making, in the beginning, great food choices, which might have been a little bit of a stressor. I was still watching violent and, activating movies. I just was being in noisy places or bright places. And, I didn't realize that, how much an eye mask can really help, or a bath, or soothing music, aromatherapy, all these yoga, meditation, how these things can help and aid in calming down my nervous system, and having the room dark and just getting into a place that I needed to and rest and, so that recovery could take place. So that was really helpful, and anything that I could do in my environment to try and reduce the stress, that really helped. So yeah, I think that these are the basic, things that I did. Probably the biggest, I just want to say that I also just wish, and this is like the final closing bit, is that I thought, I wish I had known that my life would actually be kind of better than my old one, where I was rushing around all the time, not being present, not listening to my body, pushing through things, and that by taking time to slow down, to listen better, to be more sensitive to other people, I just feel like now I just have a better relationship with a lot of people, and definitely to my mind and body and what's going on. And also, I just find the biggest gratitude in the littlest joys. And I never knew that would be something that would come out of this. Never knew that when I'm going through the pain and hardship of being in the middle of, recovery from long COVID and CFS. But I hope this message inspires, people just to keep going if you're in the middle of this. If you're feeling doubtful or, defeated, it's just, that's totally natural to feel that way. I felt that way a lot. But when we look at how, if that helps, those feelings help get better, or if you can change your mindset to, what if I can recover? What would that look like? What would that feel like to be more in a recovery mode? What path would that take? And, even visualizing it, thinking and saying and feeling all those things, just planting seeds. Our body's a healing machine. It wants to recover. It wants to go back to homeostasis. So if we can plant a seed that we will recover and have that belief, then, that's the first step in growing our healing selves. And, so I just wish you all the best in your recovery. I actually do work one-on-one with people or in workshops. I'm starting a new workshop coming up next week, actually, and it's going to be using all these practices. I'm a mindfulness-based stress reduction teacher, so I know how to do meditation, mindfulness, and to get your body into rest and digest through breathing and vagal tone exercises. I also work on mindset and brain retraining as part of recovery. So if that resonates with you, you can go on my website, Stress Less Studio. I think it'll be in somewhere in this video, and you can check it out. And I will, like I said, I wish you all the best. And just know what I didn't know, that healing is possible. Many, many people are healing in all different ways. It doesn't have to be my way. It doesn't have to be, some way that you hear, but it could be your own way. But the people are healing, and take that with you as you go about your own journey. Namaste.